Empire is a world team tennis team that plays its home matches at the USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center in Flushing, New York. World Team Tennis is a mixed-gender professional tennis league played in team format in the USA. Today is Media Day, which kicks off the 2018 season, which begins in July. With us is Billie Jean King, and first off, we have New York Team Tennis here. Tell our audience a little bit about Team Tennis.
Well, we're in our 43rd year of World Team Tennis, which I played back in 1974 when it first started. I actually played for New York teams. Played for the New York Sets when we played at Nassau, and then for the New York Apples when we played at the Garden. But now we have the New York Empire, which are playing here at the National Tennis Center. During the summer, you can go to nyempiretennis.com to find out exactly what's happening. But the first match is July 15th at 5 o'clock. All the other matches are at 7. But we have John Isner playing for the Empire, and he's the #1 male American right now. So it should be a great match, and we need to have everyone come out because we're really involved in the community. You can see some of our major sponsors up here, but we have many sponsors. We have Anthem, and we have Blue Shield, Blue Cross. We're all going to do a lot of tennis clinics throughout free for the children all over the city. So I think that's important. Our job is to give back to the community all year long, not just during Team Tennis, and that's what we're trying to figure out. We're going to do something for Puerto Rico to raise money because people are still having challenges in Puerto Rico. So, and I think everyone should come out. And we have Gigi Fernandez. She's the only woman coach in the league who's done a great job. They just missed by 1 match last year to getting to the final. So they're all geared up. She did a great job in the draft. We have a draft just like the NBA or football or NFL, MLB. We have a draft. So it was very nerve-wracking. It was during the Indian Wells tournament, which is a huge tournament out in the Palm Springs area. So it's been a great year so far, and we really look forward to our 43rd season. Yikes.
Last season, the New York Empire started anew here at the National Tennis Center. We moved to court 17, and we had a very strong turnaround. We're thrilled to be back here, and I know Gigi's ready to get her team together in just about a month for the first time. World Team Tennis has a great history, as you are all aware. The league is about to enter its 43rd year, and the New York Empire its 3rd. Last year, General Manager Michelle Cope sought out a new head coach in Gigi Fernandez, and the turnaround was apparent. Gigi led us to a 3rd place finish, just barely missing out on appearing in the championship match for that King Trophy. And we're only talking 1 match, so we were very close to that. Gigi will talk about this a little bit in a few more minutes, but we're bringing back all of our franchise players with current American #1 John Isner, former American #1 Marty Fish, and Jeannie Bouchard. The core of our roster will be made up of Neil Skupski, newcomers Tatiana Maria, Denis Novikov, and Maria Jose Martinez Sanchez. The fans are certainly going to win us some. So yeah, it is going to be a fun name and just call her MJ. All right, and MJ. But the New York Empire is presented by Citi, and Geico serves as our team's platinum sponsor. We just sent out a notice last week about some new official sponsors, including Empire Blue Cross and Blue Shield, Bloomberg, Deborah Slaner-Larkin, Ernst & Young, NYU Langone Health, and USTA Eastern. One of the things that we're going to announce in a few days, not today, but we're working out some of the minor details, but we'll be sharing some ideas on an extended partnership with Empire Blue Cross Blue Shield that's really going to impact the youth in and around New York City. And this isn't just going to be during that 2-week season. It's going to be throughout a month-long event this year, and then hopefully that will expand for the next year. But those details will come in the next few days to you, but it's something that we're all really excited about. This season, all of our 7 home matches, like last year, will have a theme. Our first match will take place on Sunday, July 15th, and feature John Isner. We'll put John against the Washington Castles on Family Fun Night, and that night will feature live music, face painting, balloons, games, food trucks, and more. On July 18th, the New York Empire will honor women who inspire today's youth as Billie Jean King and the Women's Sports Foundation will participate in Empower Her Night. That's where the Empire will host the Philadelphia Freedoms. That night, hundreds of young girls will be treated to one of two different tennis clinics. One is going to be sponsored by Empire Blue Cross Blue Shield, and the other is sponsored by the Women's Sports Foundation. Pretty cool idea here. Every participant is going to receive a free racket. In addition to those clinics and the racket, the participants will interact with the entire Empire roster. They'll take a photo with Billie Jean and experience an appearance by Gigi and some other special guests that we will announce as we get closer to the season. Special ceremony will honor all of those guests that night at halftime of that match. The Empire will play for Puerto Rico on Friday, July 20th against the San Diego Aviators. Head coach Gigi Fernandez will be raising funds and awareness for native Puerto Rico after the devastation caused by Hurricane Maria last September. And this is actually a really cool thing that's going to happen that night. It's not in your press kits because we wanted to keep it a little bit of a secret, but during halftime, a special live auction is going to feature a bidding opportunity for those in attendance to actually play for an hour on Arthur Ashe, which is something that is really exciting to us to be a part of, and thanks to the USTA for helping us with that. I'm delighted to introduce our special guests. At age 17, she became the youngest #1 in South African tennis history and is now the CEO and commissioner of World Team Tennis. We're happy to have Alana Kloss here with us today. Our head coach took over the reins last season, and as I mentioned, took us to a third place finish, just missing that championship match. She's an International Hall of Famer with and a 17-time Grand Slam winner. I'm pleased to introduce head coach Gigi Fernandez. And finally, one of the greatest icons in sports during our time, and just not even in sports, in life. A leader for social change and the co-founder of World Team Tennis. It's a pleasure to have Billie Jean King back at the National Tennis Center. So we're going to start things off. I'm going to have a couple questions myself, and then we'll eventually open it up to the floor. Alana, I'm going to start with you. Over your time in World Team Tennis, you've seen a lot of changes and growth, but what has you most excited for the future as we are a month away from the season?
Thanks, Chris.
It's on. Go ahead. It'll come on.
I don't know. Can you hear me? It looks good holding the mic. There we go. Well, I think World Team Tennis really has always been a disruptor and a league that looks at new innovations and pushing the sport forward, and we continue to do that. There will be a couple of announcements coming before the season that will continue to show how we think tennis can be a team sport, can be a lot more inclusive, and how we can get more kids in the game. It's amazing, actually, just to come back to the Billie Jean King National Tennis Center. Gigi and I are old enough to, as we were coming up in the lift or the elevator, we both said, "Wow, this is where actually when we played here in '78." You were probably a ball girl, right? But the locker rooms were here, and I think how incredible is it for the New York Empire to be playing at this incredible facility, and I know Billie Jean will talk more about it being a public park. But as it relates to the league, I think just to reiterate, there are players from 14 countries that will be participating this year, 20 American players, and of course we have the top 2 American women with Sloane Stephens and Venus Williams, and then of course the top 3 American men with John Isner, Sam Querrey, and Jack Sock. So we are thrilled about the upcoming 43rd season, and we really are excited to be here at the Billie Jean King National Tennis Center. And more importantly, this team is for the community, and it's exciting to hear that Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and the Empire are going to be doing some clinics for the kids, because I think the greatest feeling of success would be if there's some kid that's in a clinic that ends up actually playing for the New York Empire. I think we will feel like we've done our job. So it's great to be here, and good luck. Hopefully you can bring the trophy home.
Great, thank you. Gigi, next for you. Looking at the 2018 roster, there's a lot of familiar faces, but there's certainly some new ones. What do you think is going to set the team apart this year from last year's?
So, I mean, we have a fairly different team. The core roster of the team, we only returned Neil Skopsky to the team. The other three players are new. Like you said, our marquee players are all returning, Jeannie, Marty, and John. But we have Titania Maria, who is, we have a very diverse team. She's German. We have a Maria Jose Sanchez Martinez, who's a Spaniard. We have Dennis Novikov, of course, who's American, and then we have a British player, and I'm Puerto Rican, so we're fairly diverse. We also have a Canadian on the team. But as far as the level of the players that we have, I'm pretty happy with how the draft went. We were very fortunate to get Tatiana Maria, who's a top 50 singles and doubles quality player. And Maria Jose has had a great run this summer, making, I think, semis and finals of tournaments and top 13 right now. She's been as high as number 7 in doubles, yeah. So we're very solid in the doubles, the mixed doubles. And then Dennis, just beat Kei Nishikori recently, so he definitely has the ability to beat top players. And hopefully everybody takes on, he's played team tennis before, so he understands the format. I think the unknowns a little bit are when players haven't not played team tennis, just getting them used to the speed of the games, and the fast starts are very important because you only play a set to 5, and if you're not a fast starter, then that can be problematic. But I don't anticipate any issues in that regard, and we have a very energetic team. We'll have a very energetic team, and hopefully we'll find one more win than we did last year, and we'll make it to the finals.
Speaking of that one more win, by the way, you can also you're much more smoother at MJ's name than I am, so that'll be my name to practice this year.
Maria Jose Martinez Sanchez.
Yeah. But you mentioned you were one match away from the finals. What needs to change this year?
Well, we just got to win one more match. We had some weaknesses last year, and I felt like we fixed them in the draft. So no team is perfect. It's if we could have the top 4 players in the world, we'd for sure win, but that's not possible, right? We've got to spread, all the players are spread around. So, it's hopefully, like I said, hopefully we gel again like we did last year. We had a very cohesive team last year, and that's very important in this league because it's a long season and a lot of travel. And if your players feel like they're part of a team, they can sometimes give a better effort because they're playing for each other. So that's what I'll sort of try to achieve this year again, is making sure that the team is strong and everybody's fighting hard for each other and giving 110% every time they go out there.
Well, great. Billie Jean, you have a new role this year with the overall league. You've gone from a majority owner of the league to a minority owner. What excites you most about that new position that you'll be in during the season?
That I have less responsibility in every way. Ilana and I have been working on this for quite some time. I'm getting older, and we need to pass it to a younger generation as far as ownership, and which we've now achieved with Fred Luddy of the Aviators and Mark Ein of the Castles, our majority owners now. So we'll have some pretty exciting releases soon about where we're going from a league level. But I think you need to understand that we do have a draft like the other team sports, and we do that at Indian Wells every year now. It's been working like that. So it's really hectic. It's horrible. It's nerve-wracking because you're trying to get the players you want, and then somebody takes it before you. It's exactly the same as the other sports. You can buy a spot, it goes ahead. So I find the draft just absolutely the worst. I don't really like it, but it's fantastic because you do have to be smart. And I think Gigi and the Empire team did a great job in choosing their team with what was available, because we've got so many great players that didn't actually get drafted. So we hope next year they'll sign up again. But what's important to me is the future. I'm always thinking about now and the future. And so I think we've really secured a good situation for us for the future, which I think is important. You should know that I played for New York. I played for the Sets at Nassau Coliseum, and then I played for the Apples at Madison Square Garden. And I can
You
tell
didn't
you.
give me the chance to ask you that question.
Oh, sorry.
Hang on.
Oh.
How important is it, do you think, to have a New York team?
Oh, you have to have a New York.
franchise in World Team
Well,
Tennis?
first of all, you have to have New York. It's just so huge, just population-wise, culturally. It's got everyone. We've got 143, 45 languages. I mean, it's great walking down the streets of New York City or any place in New York, and you hear so many different languages. I always love to hear that because I don't understand one word most of the time, unless it's a little Espanol. But I just love the fact that we welcome everyone here. That's important. It's such a good big market. It's important to be here, and I just hope the Empire continue to really prosper. And under the great coaching of Gigi, I don't know, Gigi's had quite a career herself. She was also named the Puerto Rican Athlete of the Century, which I think is important to know. There's a lot of greatness that comes from every country. So I want to congratulate you on that. I think that's awesome. And also Gigi's helped with all the challenges Puerto Rico's going through right now, which we are going to try to help. So anyway, I'm just thrilled that we have a New York team, and I hope it continues to prosper. And just, if you need to go to the site, it's nyempiretennis.com, because everybody goes, well, I forgot what they said. Well, just go to nyempiretennis.com. That's the main thing to remember, so you'll know. And the first match on the 15th of July, remember, it's 2 hours earlier. It's at 5 o'clock. If we just start right, John Isner's in that match. Let's get started right. Hello.
Okay. Great. So thank you very much.
And I just would like to thank Ilana, because Ilana's the one that really gets most of she and also Michelle Cope for being our general manager. I want to thank them, and everybody else on the team, your team, all the people that help us in every way. I can't say his name, who's our mascot, so thank you. He knows who he is. He's not allowed to tell anybody. It's a secret. But I'll see you at the office later. So anyway, thank you so much for everyone for making this. And I'd like to thank all of you for being here, because without you, our stories are not told. I know we have social media and all that, but the traditional media made my life. So I just want to thank you to the photographers, the camera people, the writers, and everything that's responsible for getting our story out. Because if you don't tell the story, nobody knows what we're doing. So I just want to tell you how much I appreciate every one of you coming out today. And I see somebody with the San Francisco Giants hat. So my brother played 10 years with the San Francisco Giants, Randy Moffett. So I just wanted to point that out. He played 12 years in the majors. So thank you.
Sure.
Lloyd Carroll, Queens Chronicle. Lon, I'll start with you. Two questions. One, the championship match, will that be at a neutral location? We had it one year. I think San Diego had it the following year. So where is it this year?
So the good news is that the team with the best record in the league will host the championships on Sunday, the final day of the season, which I believe is
29th?
August the 5th.
August 5th.
August the 5th, it will be covered live on ESPN2. Again, it will be the team with the best record in the league. So another incentive for the Empire.
I just wanted to follow up another question. We don't have too many professional players from this area, but Noah Rubin, I think, played a match for you last year. Is he taking part in the league this year? Would he be available? Because people love local heroes.
Yep, good question. And we actually have talked to Noah about playing. We actually did try to get him to sign up for the draft, but he was working on trying to get his ranking up. I'm sure that Gigi will keep him in mind. Again, it's all about chemistry. If there are injuries, you can add wild cards. But I agree. I mean, we would love to. It's wonderful when you can have someone who has grown up in the area actually play for the team. So, hopefully he'll get his ranking up and then he'll be good enough to play.
Brian Coleman, New York Tennis Magazine. My question is for Gigi. You mentioned you noticed a few weaknesses last year in the team that you wanted to address in the draft. Can you expand on that a little more specifics about what you were looking for in the players you took this year?
So if you look at our record last year, unfortunately, women's doubles did not perform like I would have liked. For some reason, the two of them just, it didn't gel, right? And there's no way to know whether a team's going to gel before they get on the court. So hopefully this year we have two really good players. So we have a righty and a lefty, which should be very nice. I actually love having lefties on the team, and hopefully they'll gel. I mean, they're both established, and I feel very positive about the opportunities for that team. You got to be good. Doubles is critical in this league. That's why we drafted men's singles last this year, because I just felt so strongly that we needed to be better at doubles, because three of the 5 matches are doubles. So I think we're very strong in doubles all around, and mixed as well.
Any other questions? Letting everybody off easy today?
The country did a fundraiser in Atlanta. We raised about $60,000, and anything we could do to help Puerto Rico. There's still 15% of the island without electricity, which means no water, no running water. All electricity or water in Puerto Rico runs with electricity. So it's still pretty bad, and there's a hurricane season coming. So some prayers for no hurricanes going through Puerto Rico would be nice. But I think everybody's sort of forgotten about, because it's been so long, but there's a lot of people still suffering down there. So I'm very excited and pleased that the New York Empire chose a match to donate some of the proceeds to help the people in Puerto Rico. So hopefully we'll have some exciting things to announce about who might be participating that day. And it's Friday, July 20th. So more to come on that, but I just appreciate mentioning it.
Yeah, it's going to be a great day, especially with the hour-long hit up for auction on Arthur Ashe. I think that's gonna be pretty cool.
We have a junior nationals. We help children with free everything throughout the city. I help the city, the New York City Foundation. During the Open, we do a fundraiser, and that gives free instruction to everyone in New York City. So, World Team Tennis and obviously the Empire, obviously always involved in giving back. We've given out almost 400,000 rackets now in the league, and we've given them to the Empire, obviously to kids in New York. We also help with programming. We want kids, you get a racket. What do you do then? You need balls. You need to get some instruction. No, we've always given to the community. We're really about community and about team. We're about teamwork, community. So we need everybody's support locally, particularly just in Queens and the different boroughs, but particularly the Queens area, because the National Tennis Center is in Queens. But people come from New York City. You can come from all the 5 boroughs, but I really would love to really service the Queens community. It would be great if we could really help there, but get everybody. We're going to help all over, but they're the ones that live the closest, so in proximity. So I hope that they'll make an effort to come out and support the New York Empire.
And the matches are at the Billie Jean King
Well,
National Tennis Center. And what responsibility do you feel it holds with your, with having your
my name on it?
Yes.
I cringe every time and I get all embarrassed, but I always feel when I see that it's a blessing, but more importantly, it's a responsibility is what I always think. It's a responsibility to do the right thing, to give back, because the more you give, the more you get, and there's no question. It's really a privilege, and I still can't believe it's real, but with it goes, to me, is responsibility. And mi casa is su casa. So I hope they come out here. We're on court 17 for the New York Empire.
And that starts July
15th, 5 o'clock. John Isner is playing that night for the Empire. Go to nyempiretennis.com if you want to see what's going on.
Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot.
Luck. With us, Gigi Fernandez, who is the coach of the New York Empire. Now tell our audience a little bit about the team this year.
So we have hopefully a great team this year. We had a pretty good draft back in March, and we drafted 2 players that are in the top 50 in doubles, and 1 player who's in the top 50 in singles. We also have John Isner, who's a top American. He'll be playing for us July 15. We have Jeannie Bouchard from Canada coming in again for a couple of matches. And then we have Marty Fish also coming back, who is a former top 10 player who was really valuable for us last year. So he's going to play 4 or 5 matches for us this year again. So we have, I think, a really solid team. We don't have any blaring holes or blaring weaknesses. So hopefully it'll be... We'll have 1 more win this year, and we'll make the finals.
Yeah, it was very close last year. 1 win away.
Yeah.
What might you change?
Well, we've changed what I felt was the problem, or what I felt held us back last year, which was, unfortunately, the women's doubles team didn't gel. They didn't play well together. So So we sort of redrafted the women's doubles pairing, and hopefully we have a lefty on the team this year, so hopefully that'll work to our advantage. All the other positions are fairly solid, so just one win. That's not a big, not a lot, right? So we just need one more win to get to the finals.
And they're also embracing Puerto Rico. You're from Puerto
Yes,
Rico. Would
yeah.
you fill us in on?
Yeah, I'm very happy about that. The match on July 20th is a day for Puerto Rico, and I've been doing fundraisers for Puerto Rico since Hurricane Maria hit back in September. It's been 9 months, but there's still a portion of the island that does not have electricity, which means that they also don't have running water. And we're still trying to help. Hopefully there's no hurricanes hitting the island this year, because that would be devastating. When you go there now, there's still debris everywhere, and there's still, red lights that don't work. So you'll be driving down the street, all of a sudden there's a traffic light that's not working, and it's a little bit chaotic, and it's kind of a little bit, it was kind of put together a little bit, and you can kind of tell. So we're hoping that, part of the proceeds from that day are going to go to Puerto Rican hurricane relief efforts. So I'm really happy about that.
Have you been back over there?
Yeah, my dad lives there, or lived there. So I've been going back my whole life. I was just there in May. May? Yeah, my dad. Yeah. So yeah, it was. I'm sorry, my dad just passed away. So I was.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I was there for that. Sorry, I got a little bit. Lost my concentration there for a minute. But yeah, it's I'm born and raised there, and obviously hold the island very dear to my heart, and yeah.
Now, will you be playing also? Did I see something?
No.
No. You're just coaching.
I just let the
Okay,
kids play. I mean, I've been retired for 20 years.
Okay.
So yeah, there's no need for me to get out there.
And the juniors, they're embracing that, the junior tennis program.
Yeah, we're a couple of the days we're having junior clinics for the kids to come out, and yeah, it's part of the program. And every day there's a different theme. So a lot of exciting stuff going on. Like the first day we have face painting and kind of festival atmosphere, music. So yeah, should be a lot of fun.
Okay, so right here in Flushing, New York, okay?
Thank
Billie
you.
Jean King National Tennis Center. Yeah. Come down. Starts what, July?
July 15th is our first match,
15th.
and then that's a Sunday. We play at 5 p.m., and then July 20th is Play for Puerto Rico Day, and that's at 7 p.m. So those are, if you can only pick two, those would be the ones.
Thank you.
All right.
Good luck there.
Thank you.
And I'm Kristal Hart reporting from Flushing, New York, here in New York City. Hope you've enjoyed the show, and thanks for watching.